Hello guys, welcome back, welcome back. Today we're going to break down completely all of these videos. Moist Critical, Doc Viper, the full script. The full script. Now, Moist Critical, I think he's a terrible person.
I know they say the Lord forgive.
I think this guy is a terrible person. He's a terrible person. I watched his video. He misrepresents the document that Doc Viper wrote. He completely misrepresents the document. And he knows that most people are going to watch his video and not read it. They're not going to read it, of course, because, they don't care. They're not going to read it. Of course not. Of course not. Of course they're not going to read it. They don't care. Now let's play Moist Critical's video.
Gives all sins, even murder. But thanks to one man, my third eye has truly been opened to a very hard to swallow truth, that there's one sin so unforgivable that it sends the person straight to hell. It's React content. There is no forgiveness for React streamers. Those vile vermin that watch YouTube videos.
He's being so sarcastic here. Like, dude, why are you saying this? It's true. Reaction channels take away exposure from other people's channels that do the original work. You're a leech. You're a leech. You're 100% a leech, Moist. You're 100% a
Twitch, they're all bad people, downright evil with no exception. I remember in Star Wars they said only a Sith deals in absolutes. Well, not this time. Yesterday, a YouTuber and streamer named Dark Viper AU posted a 14-page document, which is the script for a video he's working on, all about how evil React content is, and it really heats up. This gets wild and wacky for the touch.
He's not calling reaction channels and reaction people rapists. He's not doing that. He's not doing any of those things. He's not actually calling people that do reaction videos a rapist or spiking drinks or not fucking... Dude, he's not doing that. He's misrepresenting this document. This dude's a fucking piece of shit, in my opinion. Because he's outright lying. I mean, Doc Viper definitely did exaggerate a little bit in his tweet, but you're definitely misrepresenting his words completely.
Down real quick. There's a whole section in here.
You're completely misrepresenting the document.
Where he basically compares reactors to sexual abuse criminals and insinuates that they'd be likely to spike your drink at a party, take silence for consent. Basically...
Come on, you're being so fake here, Moist. You know exactly what you were doing. You made this video is kind of a hit piece on Dark Viper, and you're kind of trying to justify the reaction channels on YouTube because that's your way of making money. Now, if the whole system of the reaction channels was changed overnight and nobody could like, I mean, it's okay to, obviously it's okay to react to a video, but you're completely taking money off other people's pockets. You're literally putting your hand inside and taking money out of people's pockets.
Is comparing React content creators to rapists. Completely unironically, it's not some edgy joke or anything, it's posting cringe on main that he truly believes and defends in the comments when someone called him out for it. He really doubles down, puts his nuts on the table and says, yeah, reactors are likely to commit sexual abuse. He says it's hyperbole, but only slightly so. The difference between actively ignoring consent for financial gain is not so far removed from ignoring consent for sexual gratification. In his own document, he admits that he himself was a reactor. He is engaged in a lot of
But you don't think people can change? That's like saying a criminal that committed a crime, went to jail for it, came out of jail, done his time, came out of jail, became a different person, a changed person. You don't think people can change? You don't think people can learn from their mistakes? Moist, you are everything that's wrong with YouTube. You are a leech on society. You are a leech on YouTube. You're a leech on other people's talent. You're a leech on other people's hard work. You just react on other people's content that people put hundreds of hours in. Just like Pokimane. I'm finna get on her ass too. You see, Pokimane her entire channel is based on reactions. Just like XQC. Just like, dude, she is a reaction channel. That's all she does, is react to people's videos. And it's sad. It's not nice. You know, it's very sad that she does this. She's basically stealing, but she's doing it illegally. She's a thief. Just like Moist Critical. You're a thief. It's exactly what you are. Now let's listen to Dark Viper's video a little bit.
Misrepresent what's in it to 99.99999% of people. He didn't even have the courtesy to link the documents so people could fact check him. He could legitimately just say, well, Dark Viper's out here.
Dark Viper, you already knew he wasn't gonna link it in the description. Why would he link the document in the description? Why would he do that? Because what that would do is that would mean he wouldn't be able to lie in the video. He knows, Moist knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that the vast majority of the people that watch this video are not gonna go to Dark Viper's video to watch it, because he didn't even link Dark Viper's video in the description. He didn't link the document so people can actually see that he's telling the truth about what he's saying in the video. So let's see. Moist Critical's video has 1,595,161 views. And, you know, most people are not going to actually look at the document. They're not going to read the 14-page document. They're not going to take the time to actually read it. Now let's read this. Let's read this document real quick. So how does the React gift work? A great question. I'm glad I asked it. It is actually somewhat complicated, requiring a greater understanding of the content creator economy than a viewer really needs to know. It is totally understandable for a person who doesn't produce content online to not know the minute details, so I will start with a simplified model of the online content creator marketplace. Keep in mind that reactors are not reviewers, analysts, documentarians, expert critics, or video essayists. There are people who present their first experience of video as content, doing so with no idea if they have anything of substance to contribute, as they haven't seen the content before. In other words, they present their reaction to something they have not seen, instead of putting actual effort into making something after the fact once they know they have something of value to add. But they don't actually add any value to the video. They don't do any of that. Maybe they add a bit of commentary, or they laugh and they say, oh, this is a great video, but that means they kind of take money out of the original person that made the video. They're going to take money out of their pockets. Let's continue watching Moist Critical's video real quick first.
React content himself. So at one point, were you a rapist, Dark Viper? Were you likely to commit sexual abuse? In fact, I'd argue...
Oh my god, let's go to the document and let's see if rapist is in there. There's no word rapist. There's no word... Is there a pedophile in there? Nope. Nothing. I mean, consent is in there a few times. I mean, he may have exaggerated a little bit, but I don't think he meant that content creators that react to videos are rapists. Moist Critical is completely misrepresenting Dark Viper. Completely.
Argue you were on the upper echelon of React content because you were doing media share nights where your community donated money for you to watch videos, as opposed to just watching videos that you wanted to share with people and reacting to those. You had people pay you to do it, and then you made...
Well, yeah, but he moved on and he kind of changed as a person. He doesn't do that anymore.
Money on top of that from the videos you'd post from it. So you were a super reactor. Of course you don't do that anymore, and you deleted all the...
You were a super reactor. He says that to try and make himself feel less guilty about the fact that he's a piece of shit and he's a terrible person and he's a leech on YouTube. He's a leech on content creators on YouTube.
The videos, but at one point you did engage in the exact same content that you're coming out so heavily against right now.
Does that mean that he's not able to change, Moist? You're a hypocrite. You're a fucking liar and you're a piece of shit.
And then tried to make your own justifications for why you weren't the bad guy. It's an outrageous claim, obviously. However, he does make legitimate points in the document. It's overshadowed by this unhinged rant that he goes on.
Is it though? Is it though? Is it overshadowed? It's overshadowed because it suits your narrative, Moist. It suits your narrative and it suits your channel and it suits your views and it suits you. It suits you. Not the truth. You don't care about the truth. That doesn't matter at all. The truth doesn't matter.
Familiar with Dark Viper's content. In fact, I was a fan of Dark Viper. I'd seen his runs. I didn't really see too many of like his rant videos, but I did see his content from time to time, and he always struck me as someone pretty level-headed. In fact, recently, he made a video correcting something I talked about, which was how much money YouTubers make from short content. I got some of it wrong, and not on purpose, but I just didn't know what he knew. He was very knowledgeable in short content and made a whole video going over some very insightful stuff that was a learning experience for me and his audience. I thought it was a great video, very well done. And it was super disappointing to read something like this from him. Now, I'm called out by name multiple times throughout this document because, obviously, I
Well, you're a reaction channel, and you're a big one. That's why he noted you.
do react content from time to time, 100%. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not trying to bury it in the past and hide it, pretend like I didn't, or try and justify it, because I'm not embarrassed of it. Look, I understand the stigma around react content, and I've always understood it. When I react to something, I'm constantly trying to either pause it and add something to it or interject comedy into it. I treat react content like Mystery Science Theater, where it is a transformative piece around the content. Now, of course, not every time is going to be a hit, which is why you'll find plenty of videos where I'm reacting to something like The Downfall of Quibi, which comes from a great channel that I really like to watch, and I just got too engrossed in their storytelling and the way they presented it that I didn't add anything to it. So I ended up just kind of watching it with my community. Sure. And you know what? I didn't turn that into a video. I didn't do anything else with.
But you put it on Twitch, and you made money off it. Come on, Moist. You know you're full of shit. You know you're full of shit, and you found a way to monetize something, and you found a way to make a living, but you fucked over thousands and thousands and thousands of people indirectly. You indirectly fucked with people's careers, livelihoods. You're a terrible person, Moist. You're just a terrible person.
With that, ended up just really enjoying the video as it was presented without really being able to add too much to it. And yeah, I always feel guilty when something like that happens, but that's never the goal. Dark Viper's entire document here is about this belief that every reactor is doing it for financial gain and to fuck small channels.
Of course you are. And you're indirectly fucking small channels because you're taking away exposure from the channel that originally made the content. So, for example, content A, someone makes content, it goes viral, it gets 1 million hits, but then you stunt their growth because you react to it and then you take away the people that would watch the video, they go to your video. And then they can see the video and they can see your reaction to it. So it's lazy content, basically. It's very lazy content.
And the logic he uses to make these points is deeply flawed and isn't substantiated by any real evidence. It just feels like he pulls it out of his ass and it's source, trust me, bro. He has an understanding of capitalism and the free market, and that's what he's using to base all of these claims on, even though it's not directly applicable to YouTube itself. So I just wanted to go over everything here right now. So even right away, his initial tweet going for the most extreme approach possible. All reactors are bad people, exploit others to benefit no one but themselves, collectively stolen millions of dollars from actual creators, and have stopped countless thousands from having a career. I wonder how many small channels are out there shaking their fist right now like, damn you, Pokimane, my channel died because you watched my video on your stream and said nice things about me. I had such a promising career as a YouTuber till you said nice things.
But he's misrepresenting it again. He's twisting the facts to suit his narrative. He's completely twisting the facts. This motherfucker's not even telling the truth. And people that watch his video are not gonna know whether or not he's telling the truth because he doesn't link the document. Moist, why don't you link the document, bro? Why don't you go ahead and link the document, bro? Why don't you go ahead and tell the truth, motherfucker? Why don't you actually do that? How about that? That would
my
be
video on stream to an audience of 30,000 concurrent viewers. Now I'm fucking trashed. I'm ruined. And to be fair, that's not the exact point he's making. His point of how they're killing small channels is because they're taking eyes away from small channels to their own channel. So I guess a more apt comparison would be a small channel fucking flipping over their table like, fuck, I would have had 10 million views on this video if Pokimane didn't react to Jubilee, 6 atheists versus 1 Christian 5 days ago. Now my channel's fucked because she reacted and all the people went and watched that instead of watching my video essay on Dying Light's butthole physics. Now to show his point in the actual document, he goes on to describe how effortless it is to make React content, which he is absolutely in the right on. This is an inarguable truth.
You see, he can't even say anything. He knows he's fucking full of shit, but he has to try and twist the narrative. That's it. That's what he's doing. He's twisting the narrative here. He's completely twisting the narrative. Why don't you link the fucking article so people can know whether or not you're telling the truth? Alright, let's see it. Let's break down this document. Let's break it down. 10 hours labor video, 500 hours labor video, 50 hours, 500 hours. And then it gets stolen from the creator. Impressions, exposure, always 100% distributed. So the reactor basically takes other people's content and takes it and reacts to it. And they don't have to pay them because fair use, bro. Fair use, bro. But that's not true. Fair use is when you use small clips of other people's content. You don't use the whole thing. The fuck?
I would love to know where you got this data from, if you have that available, because in this graph, if the React content that controls the 30% here pulls out, that 30% doesn't automatically get distributed to the rest of the graph. Those eyeballs could just be gone. They could go to a different platform. Take, for example, when Mixer acquired Ninja and Shroud, they came with absolutely massive audiences, and when they'd stream on Mixer, they'd have that full audience there. They were tuned in. But when they left, those eyeballs left. They didn't get redistributed to the rest of Mixer. They just went to...
Again, Moist. You're misrepresenting the diagram. And your viewers don't know any better because you're not showing the full context of the story. If you leave out the whole story and then you only look at one little line in the book, how are you going to understand the full context, the full picture? You won't. Exactly. You won't. Because this piece of shit, moistcritical, whatever his name is, this piece of shit is lying in this video. Now, whatever, let's just... Whatever, man. Whatever, Moist. Whatever, bro. It is what it is.
Flattering explanation that I could possibly give for that. Let's play a game. Let's see how many of these words are actually in this document. Sexual, no. How about abuse? Oh, we got report abuse up the top here. How about criminal? No. How about predator? No, not that either. How about rapist? No. It's almost like Charlie is making shit up and I don't understand why. My point was, consent matters, and the idea of asking consent after you've already done the thing is clearly not good. What annoys me most about
Well, how long of a sneak peek is this, man? Let's just jump right into the dang thing. I'm here to watch.
Critical's video is not that he disagrees with me, is that he doesn't even understand what the document said. So moistcritical...
Alright, well, I've read the document. I understand it. Talk to me.
has made a response video to something that people think is involved with me somehow.
I've also read the entire document too, so...
I don't know what he's responding to.
Yo, this is such a reaction meta. There's three boxed bozos here with hot takes. Let's see if you can...
Well, Ethan, you're kind of doing the same thing. You're reacting as well, so...
Pick one talking head from the other.
Here. But I did write a 14-page script explaining why I don't like reactors and I think they're bad people. Whatever he's looking at here isn't that, because basically nothing of what he talks about in this video do I talk about in that script. That is a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm somewhat at a disadvantage now. Because Charlie has made a response video to an unreleased YouTube video, my best response would be to just make the video. Because anyone who watched it would understand all the things that Charlie didn't understand when he...
Why did you put out a script publicly and then you're crying when your fans start attacking Charlie? And of course, he has every right to respond to it. What, you need his consent for that too? I mean, you put out the script, dude. Just make the video. I don't know what you want.
I agree with Ethan, to be honest. I didn't know this. I did not know this.
Might have read the script, I'm not 100% sure. But I don't have time for that. It's a 14-page document, and I am being...
You sure as hell got time. This 47-minute video, dude.
...defamed by this man. Moistcritical knows that his video is going to reach far more people than will ever actually read that document. So he has free reign to misrepresent what's in it to 99.9999.
I kind of agree. I agree with Viper here. Because he's misrepresenting the document in the video, And he's not going to link the video in the description so people won't know whether or not he's telling the truth, because the vast majority of his audience is not going to go back and watch Dark Viper's video to actually know whether or not he's telling the truth. They won't do that.
99% of people. He didn't even have the courtesy to link the document so people could fact check him. He could legitimately just say, well, Dark Viper's out here saying that I fucked the Loch Ness Monster. I didn't fuck the Loch Ness Monster. People are like, wow, this Dark Viper claiming that moist...
So did he say you fucked the Loch Ness Monster or not? Let's see, let's see what he said. I linked the document in my last one. I'll link it in this one too if you guys want to read it.
Critical fuck the Loch Ness Monster? Shameful. He also knows that my video
By the way, did this guy fuck the Loch Ness Monster? Seems to be specifically caught up on that.
That's pretty funny.
Will also reach one fraction of a percent of
Viper fucked the Loch Ness Monster, you guys. Crazy.
people who watch this video. This is the power that large content creators have to shape a narrative, regardless of how false.
And it really heats up. This gets wild and wacky for the touchdown real quick. There's a whole section in here where he basically...
I mean, it's true. Like, Dark Viper's telling the truth. I mean, Moist Critical is completely misrepresenting the document. He's not...
compares reactors to sexual abuse criminals and insinuates that they'd be likely to spike your drink at a party, take silence for consent. Basically is comparing React content creators to...
This is on page 8 of 14, and is an offhand remark, in brackets. This is Charlie's attempt to poison the well.
I read the document. I think Charlie was basically on point here. Viper, if you guys watched, made a really unsavory comparison to...
I disagree with Ethan, to be honest. I disagree with you, Ethan. Like, he's not comparing them. He is comparing it, but he's exaggerating a little bit to make a point, but he's not actually saying they're rapists or whatever,
Reactors not getting consent to use other people's video, which is a whole weird thing, the whole thing of trying to get consent. It's free speech. You don't need consent for speech. He compares it to essay. He says it's like spike. He says maybe because a reactor has spiked your drink at a party. It's not an offhand comment because he continues down where he says it's down, but he says it'd be scary to go to a party with a reactor because they don't understand consent.
Yeah, I mean, Ethan, you're also being misrepresenting here. I mean, it's just, whatever, man. It is what it is, bro.
Not an offhand comment.
You guys, I'm going to take this thing entirely out of context to present it as something that it clearly is not, in order to poison you against a 14-page meticulously written document. What the hell, Charlie? I didn't have...
By the way, 14 pages. Listen. 14 pages is nothing to scoff at. But let's be honest. When you can say 14 pages meticulously written, this isn't like the manifesto of... this isn't Karl Marx...
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't meticulously written. It's just a little 14-page document. It's not like some type of award-winning Nobel Prize shit, right?
Karl Marx, Communist Manifesto, whatever. It's just a little fucking Word doc you put together. It's not scripture, dude.
The highest opinion of you. But what the hell is this? He is so keen to poison you against this...
Yeah, so he's making a big point about, that he drew this comparison to essay, and Charlie was 100% right to draw that comparison, as we showed in our last video. This dude went so far out of bounds with that comparison. Not good. Charlie 100% right there. And Charlie didn't make a big deal of it. By the looks of it, he just made a little bit of a joke, which he was more than warranted to have made.
This 14-page meticulous...
Did he, though?
Welcome back, guys.
Did he, though? Did he really do that? I don't know. He's being cancelled?
What up, everybody? Welcome back. There's a big drama brewing involving moistcritical, a popular Twitch streamer and reactor. He's been called out by a smaller creator named Dark Viper, who has claimed that Critical, among others, specifically called a XQC, Hassan, Pokimane, and moistcritical.
Well, why wouldn't he? Those people are the biggest reaction channels on the planet.
He called them exploiter class because of the way that they are reacting to content. He wrote a 14-page manifesto. I'm kidding. It's not a manifesto. It's just a 14-page essay about why he thinks that, and to quote him, reactors are terrible people. Powerfully worded statement. Definitely doesn't hold back, doesn't mince words. I feel like this is my bread and butter. We're talking about fair use. We're talking about reaction content. And, you know, I feel I'm in a unique position to...
Well, let's play this video then. Play Moist Critical's video. Yeah.
It's the argued document. Then he goes to the intricate detail why that is not the case. But even if that was true, all it would do is make me a hypocrite. It wouldn't make anything I say untrue.
That I agree with. I hate when this happens a lot in the creator space. It's like, if you can prove this person is a hypocrite, then you win the argument. Like, you see that not just in creator space, everywhere. It's like, it doesn't matter if the person's a hypocrite. It doesn't that does not invalidate anything they said. And this point, I think...
I agree. It doesn't invalidate anything they said. But, I mean, look at this, man.
He spends dozens of hours re-uploading...
Oh, I can't. This guy's just rehashing. He's not going anywhere interesting. He is he's raving. He's angry. He's bitter. And I don't think that anyone who read this would agree with him, actually. And I don't think that small creators who are looking for their big break agree either. Because, in fact, listen, I came up from the bottom, just like Charlie did. And you get your big breaks, at least me and Charlie, I know, because we kind of came up together. Some dudes break it through the algorithm. Most people don't. Most people get big breaks from getting shout-outs, being reacted to, doing a collaboration. Where the algorithm actually pumps the channel like crazy is usually the worst kinds of channels. Let's be honest. Leafy is here. Rice Gum. These are the channels that were like pumped by the algorithm, dude. And then there's good channels, but like it's formulaic.
You think Leafy is Here is not a good channel? I kind of like Leafy's channel, to be honest. I think Ethan has a bone to pick with people that are critical of reaction channels because he's a reaction channel himself. So he kind of has to do that.
It's heck. Like, you've got Dude Perfect, Mr. Beast, and these are the channels that get pumped by the algorithm, dude. It's not react content. I'm just telling you. It's just not, dude. I've been around for long enough.
Uploading other people's content to his Twitch stream and his
Well,
YouTube.
Leafy was, but back then was a different time, so yeah.
He doesn't give people shout-outs on his Twitter where he can't benefit from such shout-outs.
Dude, you looked 1 month. Also, who cares?
Ain't that weird that the only...
You're so boring, dude. I'm gonna wrap this up. This guy's annoying me.
It is pretty boring, though. You're boring too, Ethan.
video would have gone to someone else if that React video didn't exist. Therefore,
Stop whining,
logically,
bro.
original content creators would have gotten more impressed.
By the way, I think the problem he's making here is he's assuming if your video didn't exist, it would go to some small creator. No, it would probably go to Mr. Beast, Dude Perfect.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true because the algorithm does pump out those kind of channels. But yeah, I mean, it's whatever, you know. It's difficult and it's bullshit and it is what it